February is the month that quietly separates the strategic homesteader from the hopeful gardener. Most people believe winter is a time when gardens sleep. That belief is exactly why they stand under harsh fluorescent lights in January, dependent on supermarkets for food that travel thousands of miles to reach them. Winter is not when abundance disappears. Winter is when food security is lost. Not in summer, when everything is overflowing, but in the cold months when planning matters most. In winter, time is either invested or wasted. Beds sit empty, soil lies dormant. Grocery store shelves become a strange landscape of expensive imported produce, beautiful on the outside, hollow on the inside. Flavorless. Nutrition stripped away by distance, storage, and time. February is the moment where that pattern can be broken. February is a fork in the road. One path leads to a calm, steady harvest that feeds your family when others are scrambling. The other leads to a chaotic spring rush, overcrowded seed trays, and an empty early season where nothing is ready when you need it most. By the end of this video, you will have a clear February planting map. You'll know what goes directly outside, what must be started indoors, what needs to be stored underground, and what creates overlapping harvest waves instead of a single overwhelming glut followed by nothing. This is how 200 pounds of food come from a bed smaller than most parking spaces. This is the system that turns a four-season garden from a hobby into a reality. The architecture of the month. Before a single seed touches soil, you need to understand the architecture of February. Think of this month not as one action, but as 4 lanes running in parallel. If you only plant in one lane, you will always have gaps. The goal is to stack lanes so production never stops. Lane 1 is the outdoor survivors. These are the toughest crops, capable of being direct sown into cold soil, often with simple protection. They are your front line, the crops that prove winter gardening is possible. Lane 2 is the indoor accelerators. These crops are started inside to gain a critical 4 to 6 week advantage. They don't wait for spring. They arrive early, strong, and ready. This lane is your strategic leverage. Number 3, leeks. Leeks are your storage builders. They are slow, reliable, and foundational, planted now for harvest 9 months later. Leeks are not fast food, they are insurance. Start them indoors in all zones using winter varieties like Bleu de Soleils. Transplant into trenches and gradually fill soil as they grow. Leave them in the ground through winter and harvest as needed. This is ancient food security. Number 4, carrots. Carrots are living storage. Sweet, dense calories stored underground. The mistake is harvesting in fall. Leave them under mulch, snow above, food below. Prepare soil deeply. Choose storage varieties like Danvers or Bolero. In warmer zones, sow in February. In colder zones, wait until soil is workable. Number 5, parsnips. Parsnips are deep winter insurance. They improve with cold and provide energy when little else exists. The mistake is impatience. Germination takes weeks. Gardeners give up too soon. Direct sow hollow crown in February where possible. Harvest only after hard frosts for full flavor. Number 6, Brussels sprouts. These are vertical calorie systems. One stalk produces dozens of meals. They must be started indoors in February. Plant late and they fail. Top plants in late summer to concentrate energy into sprouts. Harvest from the bottom up after frost. Number 7, storage cabbage. This is food preserved by time, not technology. Choose storage varieties only. Harvest after light frosts. Store whole plants upside down in cool, humid spaces. Eat for months. The 7 February mistakes. Waiting for warmth. Starting everything at once. Planting without protection. No succession planting. Ignoring slugs. Overwatering cold soil. Choosing the wrong varieties. Each mistake steals weeks of production before spring even arrives. The 30-day February plan. Week 1. Prepare beds and start indoor seeds. Week 2. First outdoor sowing under protection. Week 3, second succession planting and thinning. Week 4, carrots and parsnips in warmer zones. This is how 200 pounds of food quietly appear from one bed. Gardeners react to seasons. Homesteaders design them. February is not early planting, it is long-term thinking. When you plant this way, you are not placing seeds in soil. You are building a system. You are rejecting fragility. You are choosing independence. This is how you win. And finally, the legacy. Most people garden for a season. Very few garden for a decade. 10 years from now, the world will not be calmer. Supply chains will still stretch thin. Prices will still jump without warning. Weather will still break patterns people depend on. During disruption and uncertainty, others will worry. They will refresh news feeds. They will complain about costs. They will feel trapped by systems they do not control. You will not. Your pond will still be there. Your beds will still be producing. Your soil will still be alive. While others react, you will harvest. This is the quiet advantage of systems built early. February work compounds. It does not scream for attention. It does not show off in spring, it waits. And then it pays you back when it matters most. Your children will fish from the pond's edge. They will not see it as survival. They will see it as normal. They will understand that food does not come from stores first. It comes from planning, patience, and stewardship. You will teach them more than gardening. You will teach them sovereignty. Because sovereignty is not isolation. It is optional dependence. You can buy food, but you do not have to. You can rely on systems, but you are not owned by them. This is not just a pond. It is not just a bed of kale. It is not just carrots under snow. It is a quiet declaration of independence. And it scales. A single bed becomes two. A single cold frame becomes a hoop house. A single pond becomes a protein loop. Fish, ducks, water plants, fertility cycling back into the soil.
Nothing here is extreme. Nothing here is flashy. That is why it works. The most resilient systems in history were boring. They were predictable. They were repeatable. Roman farms, medieval kitchen gardens, wartime victory plots. They all followed the same rule: diversity, timing, and storage. You now understand the same architecture. Outdoor survivors to anchor the early season. Indoor accelerators to steal time from spring. Storage builders to feed the future. Gap fillers to eliminate hunger windows. 4 lanes, 1 system. When something fails, when something always fails, when the system absorbs the shock. A frost-wiped spinach, kale is still standing. Carrots slow down, leeks are waiting. Cabbage stores while greens cycle. This is not gardening as decoration. This is gardening as infrastructure. And infrastructure does not care about motivation. It only cares about design. You do not need perfect weather. You do not need endless time. You do not need acres of land. You need alignment. Alignment between frost dates and seed starts. Alignment between calories and storage. Alignment between effort and payoff. February is where alignment is built. This is why experienced growers are calm in late winter. They are not guessing, they are executing. They already know what March will bring because they decided it in February. And when spring finally arrives, light, loud, chaotic, and fast, you are not scrambling. You are harvesting while others are still planting. That is the difference. Gardeners react to seasons. Homesteaders design them. This is not about self-sufficiency as an identity. It is about competence. The ability to feed yourself quietly, consistently, without panic. This is how a 4-season garden stops being a hobby. This is how it becomes real. And it starts here, in the cold. In February.
Your beds will still cycle through seasons without drama. Not because nothing goes wrong, but because nothing depends on perfection. When spring arrives late, your cold crops hold. When summer burns, your deep roots stay cool. When supply chains tighten, your calories are already accounted for. This is what systems do. They absorb shock. Your children will not remember the panic years. They will remember routines. They will remember walking the edge of the pond at dusk, watching insects skim the surface. They will remember pulling carrots from frozen soil, surprised every time that food could still exist under snow. They will remember that winter was not a season of absence, but a season of stored effort. And without ever giving it a name, you will teach them sovereignty. Not as a slogan, as a normal way of life. They will learn that food does not come from shelves. It comes from patience layered over time, from decisions made months before hunger appears. This is the quiet power of February work. No one applauds it, no one sees it happening. The seed trays on a windowsill do not look like security. A bed under mulch does not look like independence. A pond looks like decoration, until suddenly it isn't. When others rush in April, you thin. When others plant in May, you harvest. When others panic in October, you plan. This is how calm is manufactured. Not by optimism, by structure. Every element you built had a role. The fast crops bought time. The long crops stored energy. The perennials stabilized the system. The pond closed the loop. Nothing was wasted. Nothing was accidental. Even failure had a place. A crop that struggled taught spacing. A bed that flooded taught drainage. A frost that killed leaves strengthened roots. Nature trained you because you were listening. This is why homesteading is not nostalgia. It is not escape. It is not hobby. It is applied foresight. The world rewards scale. Your land rewards attention, and attention compounds. Year after year, the work becomes easier. The soil gets darker, the harvests get quieter. The effort moves from labor to observation. You stop asking what to plant. You start knowing when. This is the moment most people never reach, because they never design for it. They chase yield, you build continuity. They grow food, you grow resilience. They depend on timing. You depend on systems. And systems outlast seasons. So when disruption comes, and it will not feel dramatic to you. It will feel like weather. Something to note, something to work around. Not something to fear, because you already did the hard part in February, when nothing was visible, when no one was watching, when the decision still mattered. This is not just a pond. It is not just a garden. It is not just stored food. It is a quiet declaration of independence, and it stands, season after season, without asking permission.